Yeah, so there's a number of places where they can go. They can go to doctor's office, primary care doctor's office. Pharmacists are also accessible nowadays, and so I would refer parents to make sure that they're contacting their doctors and pharmacists to make sure that they know about any updated vaccines that just came out. CDC has just currently released guidelines after FDA has approved the new booster doses. So it's anyone 6 months and older is eligible to get a booster dose.
Welcome back to Salaxley TV. I'm going to talk about the increase of COVID-19 in King County and back to school. Our guest today is Abdikadir. Will you give us a little bit background about yourself?
So my name is Abdikadir Athur. I'm a pharmacist by profession. I've been a pharmacist for more than 10 years. My career actually started in Canada, where I graduated from the University of Saskatchewan in 2013. And then I went on to become a pharmacist and practiced in Alberta for about 4 years and moved to the United States in 2017. Since then, I have been a pharmacist working in retail for about 6 years, for the last 6 years. Currently, I work at Talo Station Pharmacy, which is an independent pharmacy. My next chapter will be, which I'm excited about, I'll be the main pharmacist that's going to be stationed at our new location coming up, which is called Talo Station Pharmacy. We're about to open in about 4 weeks. We'll open our doors to customers. Both pharmacies are independent pharmacies, and they have similar services that are geared towards decreasing health disparities amongst refugees and immigrants, as well as everybody else. And we have multilingual team of staff as well.
Wonderful. And this is the area that you're expertise on. And my first question is, are there any specific vaccine the kids needs to have before going back to school?
Yeah, Mohammed. So one of the required vaccines for kids is the MMR, which protects against the measles. And it's very important for parents to make sure that their kids are up to date on immunizations. Basically, in order to protect them from spreading the virus, as well as to make sure that they are safe.
Wonderful. And what steps parents can take to ensure their children are protected COVID-19 as they return to school?
Yeah, so several steps that the parents can take. The most important one is to make sure that their kids, first of all, are up to date on immunizations. And then secondly, it's important to make sure that kids are wearing high-quality masks in crowded indoor spaces. And also to make sure that there's enough ventilations indoor, wherever, at home or anywhere. And then nowadays also in the fall, if any kid comes down with any symptoms such as runny nose, sneezing, coughing, those type of viral symptoms, making sure that we are testing them right away and seeking medical attention. Especially for kids that are more vulnerable or at high risk, making sure that they are taken care of right away.
Are there any concern about COVID-19 spreading in school in King County?
Yeah, so while kids are less likely to get severely ill from the virus themselves, it's important that we are following the proper precautions for a number of reasons. First of all, we want to have the kids healthy, their parents healthy, and their teachers healthy so that we can have a vibrant community. And then secondly, there are some vulnerable populations that need to be protected because kids can become super spreaders of the virus, as you know. So especially those people are elderly populations, people with underlying medical conditions, those that are immunocompromised. Those people can get severely ill and get hospitalized. So we want to make sure that we're protecting them as well.
Right. Are there any resources available parents to get their children to date requirement for vaccination?
Right. Yeah. So there's a number of places where they can go. They can go to doctor's office, primary care doctor's office. Pharmacists are also accessible nowadays, and so I would refer parents to make sure that they're contacting their doctors and pharmacists to make sure that they know about any updated vaccines that just came out. CDC has just currently released guidelines after FDA has approved the new booster doses. So it's, anyone 6 months and older is eligible to get a booster dose.
Oh, nice.
And most pharmacists now will have it very soon. Another important resource that I would like to refer them to is, the King County government is also conducting free back-to-school immunization clinics. Those are in schools and some other places. So parents can take their children, especially those that don't have doctors, to those places and get them vaccinated.
Oh, that's great. How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected vaccination rate in children in King County?
Yeah, so, during the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of appointments had to be canceled. So we fall behind a little bit with vaccinations. We have been playing catch up, and it's been great, but making sure that, regardless of what happened, we are getting our children vaccinated. Any recommended vaccine for school as well as any required vaccine, making sure that all of our children are taking those vaccines.
Okay, we reached the end of the program. At this part, I just want to give you what kind of advice would you want to give the parents?
My main advice is to be knowledgeable. There's a lot of resources available. They can go to the CDC website. They can check their immunization status as well. My IR is one of them that they can check themselves or were verified, especially if you want to just to make sure that the kids have their vaccinations updated. And for any resources, they can also contact their pharmacist. Like I said, they are the most accessible. They can also contact their doctors. But regardless, we want to make sure that there's new variants that are existing now, and the vaccine that just came out has shown efficacy against these new variants. So it's important for everybody to get vaccinated, and most pharmacies will have in the next few weeks this vaccine available to them.
Okay, thank you very much for helping us to understand the vaccination process and back to school program. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you so much, Mohammed, and I really appreciate